Welcome to today's collective reading. I do want to let you know that if things sound a little different, it's because I'm in a new space and I'm using a little bit different equipment as well. I did start the reading and it just something got a little funky, so because I'm in the new space. So I've stopped and I'll go back over the reading as it has developed to that point. So far, in the placement of Earth, we have your dream space is a collaboration between you, your ego, your conscious self, your higher self, your soul, divine, and all the other beings that you're co-creating with. In particular, one that is present from a past life, one that as you heal, as you grow, as you integrate this knowledge, the information coming into you that's giving you the ability to not just transform or transmute energy, but also transform and transmute your physical form, your physical being, your physical level of energy available to you, as well as how you view concepts in the world around you. You're learning a lot in your dream space, even if you're not consciously aware of all of the dreams that you have. You are working very hard in your dream space. Between being fully grounded, being fully aware and present in your heart, being able to see with love, with light, compassion, empathy, and your connection to the divine. There is that balancing happening between all of these different layers of self, and that is being mirrored. So as you balance, they can balance, and they can be someone you know in your life that is a past life soulmate that could be, incarnated as like a sister, a friend, a father, a brother, or it could be a romantic connection, and it could be someone you don't know, but you are connected in this way. So as you heal, as you learn, as you integrate, they heal, they learn, they integrate. In the receptive energy, you have been very ready for this to be something more intentionally present in your conscious experience, to move through willing this emotional experience to be one where you are able to float upon it. Similar to the metaphor of a surfer standing on the seashore and longing to just run out into the water and enjoy catching a wave. It doesn't need to be the biggest wave. You can just enjoy going with that flow instead of longing to be out in the ocean, going with the flow. You're very ready to be out there going with the flow. This will bring in energy because you're receptive to it. It calls it to you. It allows you at this point to begin to find fun, to begin to enjoy the experience. All that you're learning in this dream space is allowing this amount of healing, this amount of joy to come into place at this time. There is an invitation. This was a card that somehow just really did not end up where it should have been. And it's very important that you know that in this dream space especially, but this is present throughout the whole reading, that things are not as they seem. At first blush, when you first wake up and you remember little bits of the dream, the invitation is to sit with the dream, to contemplate it, to have that journal on your nightstand, whatever it is that you need to do wherever you are in your lucid dreaming progress, whether you're just starting or you've been practiced at it for some time. When you sit with it, you'll realize that the surface meaning is just that. The actual intention to be communicated is something that is just for you, that only you will understand, and it is deeper, and it affects something in your world that is challenging for you or will become present in your day, and it'll make sense suddenly as to why you dreamed what you dreamed, almost like a heads up. So meditate, sit with it when you wake up, you have your coffee, your tea, you're driving to work. Take some time to reflect on it, because there is a deeper meaning than what is initially presented to you. So now we're ready to move into the next part of the reading, which would be the element of air, what you know. Be it knowledge, studies, knowledge that you are to gain, information that you are to seek, anything of really the intellectual aspect, the analytical side of the mind. So this is speaking to your awareness of rising above the storm and your power, your ability to manifest that. Okay, let's get the assertive energies present. Within the assertive energies present within this concept of really being aware of rising above the chaos, and or really being able to direct the chaos, being able to create that opening in the storm cloud above you and just ascend right out of it. It is an experience of being aware of your power to co-create, that you're not alone in the co-creation, that your wants, needs, desires, your pain, your longing, your every moment in your life leading to this moment was not by mistake. Everything led to you being aware, perfectly in sync at that moment, that you were part of creating that opening in the storm above you to ascend out of it, above it. And now you're above it and you're looking down on it, and there are others there. There are soul tribes still in that, and you want to help them. And because there's that desire, there's a radical transformation occurring within you. You want that beautiful future. You want to grow old and have looked back on your life without regret. We all want that. But because you're aware you want that, you're aware that in order to fully transform this storm, to be able to affect it, to catalyze it, to create change within it, as you you've just made your way above it, you have compassion for your soul tribe still there that don't necessarily have all of those answers yet, but you can be part of the solution to help them find them, to help them own their power, to be able to create an opening in the storm themselves. And the more in your soul tribe that rise above the storm, the less power that storm has to negatively impact the environment, be it the planet, be it your family, your job, your life in general. However this storm is being experienced for you, and we are all unique in this, but we do mirror one another, especially soul tribe. When I speak about collective, I am speaking to people that are called to this reading because they are going through something similar. So there is a essence of soul tribe. So there may be that knee-jerk reaction too initially, and that's completely human, to be up there and just wanting to have a moment to just to get your breath, to be in awe, and to own that gratitude for no longer being underneath this raging storm on the ground, vulnerable. The key to being able, and it's not coincidence I said key, because it is the key. It unlocks this situation. And it's not necessarily an easy thing to do if it is something that you have become very good at not allowing yourself to tap into within yourself. And that is to get in touch with the emotional aspect. you can look at this situation very analytically with knowledge. Statistics, for example, so many in this situation, so many here, what's the probabilities of blah, 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 blah. You could really get into the analytics of it. But that won't change the storm. That is just gathering knowledge of it. Where the divine comes in, where your will, your spark, your uniqueness really comes in, is when you have that knowledge and you use that knowledge to direct the passion, the emotion, the empathy, the love that you have for yourself, and seeing that your soul tribe that is still in the situation is part of you. What happens to them happens to you. There's a mirroring to some degree, depending on how close they are to you, so on and so forth. What your contracts are. In this situation, there is definitely a soul contract present at this point for you to aid those that are still in the storm. The key to being able to manifest change in that storm beneath you that's still raging is to tap into your emotions. And you may need to see what happens to the storm when you first tap into that emotion, and learn to work with the elements present by observing the cause and effect. But the only reason that this is really something that's able to happen is because it was co-created with the divine. The divine will not ever lead you to hurt or harm. So do not fear that you will create more chaos. If it appears that there is more chaos, it's because it's balancing that scale, and you're not going to be creating more harm. You are creating harmony, not harm. The divine is using you through your emotions, through that spark, through your desire, through your knowledge, to affect harmony within the storm. And your soul tribe may at first not know what's going on. There may be confusion that will be mirrored in you as confusion. But they will integrate the knowledge, and then they will understand, and then they will be grateful, and then the storm will begin to harmonize. And the more you do this, the more this happens. However subtly you make this change, however subtly you affect, or however grandly you impact it, harmony will be manifest. So if something appears to be causing harm, that is an illusion brought about by those who do not want you and your soul tribe to rise above this storm and calm it by creating harmony. They are benefiting from your suffering, from your being stuck, from those in your soul tribe left behind that are stuck. And we're soul warriors, like we're warriors, we're spiritual warriors. If we can help, we will. We will not walk away from that. Very powerful message. Wow. All right, let's go into the receptive energies here. Let's see if they just back up what I just channeled, or if they have a little more insight. The receptive energy here is that you are that channel. This is being highlighted, that it is the divine is communicating with you, but Gaia is communicating with divine through you. Gaia is the soul of our planet. Gaia wants to create harmony and balance. This could be the storm, is what is going on with our planet physically. The weather, the seismic activity, the spinning of the core is the storm. And Gaia is seeking that connection with divine through the sentient beings, her children, us, to create change in the emotional, energetic experience on this planet because it does affect Gaia. We are her children. What mother do you know that is a really good mother who will not want to nurture her children? And she's seeking help with, you know, her counterpart, like the divine within her. If, you know, you look at different shamanic stories of creation, like the indigenous shamanic stories, there's Father Sky, Mother Earth. They're counterparts. If you take it away from mythology, it's the soul of the planet seeking the connection to divine, and we are her children, so we're part of that. And in many ways, we're co-created by both of them to create this ability to affect this change. There's a profound abundance present within the situation. Profound, like you are very tapped in. You've worked on that shadow side. You're aware of your light. You love your shadow self. Your shadow self is your ally. There's harmony present within you, and it is continually balancing, continually rebalancing as you integrate this information. This is all part of your soul plan before you incarnated. The timeline that you are choosing right now is your highest timeline. This is confirmation that you don't mess around. You're ready to do this. You want a full, happy life. You don't want to settle. Why should you? Co-creating with divine, you have that ally. And this is all being mirrored back to you. This is something present within you and another closer to you, past life soulmate. Whatever the label is for that connection, whether you know them or not, in your physical reality, you are directly impacting one another. And remember, the surface level is not the actual message. There is a deeper level to how you're interpreting this information and applying it to your world. There is a deeper meaning. It's very important to spend some time meditating on everything you're hearing here, if it resonates, and how it applies to your life. Spend some time with it, because there is a deeper meaning that only you will be able to understand. It is unique to you, your history, your family, your friends, your traumas, your triggers, your healing. Only you will understand it. No one else will be able to integrate that knowledge. This is all part of the plan. All of it. You are not alone. You are possibly in a state where you're needing to hear that. You're needing to know you're not alone. And you're not. Help is on the way. The more of us that ascend out of the storm, that turn back to help our soul tribe, the more momentum we gain. The more of us that are added to this, and you know, you may not be the first, you may be the 100th, you may be the 100,000th, but all of those that came before you, you contribute your energy to that, and it becomes something that is unstoppable. Really, it already is. You have the divine on your side. This is why the term juggernaut has come up a couple of times in my readings. A juggernaut is momentum with unstoppable force. You cannot stop this now. The wave has built, and it's going to affect change. It's not going to just stop. Its momentum has built to the point that it's unstoppable. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a tsunami, but because that implies destruction. And if there is destruction, it's to this negative energy that's enjoying suffering, that's feeding off of it, that's wanting to create more of it. If there is to be destruction, it is to be brought to this situation, but it's to be transformed into something that is even healing for that energy, to on like a higher self level. Possibly not in the 3D experience or consciously, but in the higher self level, there is a soul contract present with this group as a whole, for them to learn how to move from destruction into choosing a new path in their next incarnation or even in this life. So whatever destruction you may find you encounter, it is actually the medicine that's needed for their higher self and or possibly their conscious self in this life. Thus the harmony and not the harm. To focus on the harmony. Okay, moving into the element of fire. Oh boy, that one's very passionate. Ho ho ho. Okay, all right. Okay, I already got kind of the vibe here. This is the healing aspect of the darker aspects, the negative energy. And this is within the will. So let's see what Divine wants to come through here. So for the assertive energy present within this placement, where I immediately got the concept of, for a lack of a better word, those that are here karmically at this moment, creating difficulty, blockages, possibly benefiting off of others' suffering, that are still trapped in this storm. So the soul tribe that you're seeking to aid, to provide strength to, they have a dual awareness. I'm actually being led to not read this card from their perspective at all, because there is a trap present within that. So keep that in mind when you're interacting with those that you know, or situations that you know cause you suffering, or those around you suffering in some way, oppression, any kind of malicious, manipulative energies that you've experienced on a consistent basis from dynamics around you. There is a trap present that you're either encountering or you're moving into, or it's happening right now. What Divine wants you to know is that you have a lifeline that's being provided to you in this situation. And that could just be that you just got this message now. This is the offer of a opportunity to know that you can choose other, that you don't have to go into that trap, that you can have that higher self perspective and not emotionally feed into it. To see the drama of it as though you're watching a play, and make a decision about how you're going to direct your behavior in this play, because you have this higher view. Almost you will have a concept of a premonition of where it's going once they begin to move, to begin to speak, even if they're not showing their hand, their body language, their energy. Your intuitive gifts are going to allow you to be one step ahead, even if you're not aware you have them. There is a lifeline here. You're not alone. Okay, I have a phrase that's being called to speak. It's the universe is conspiring in your favor. This feels very muchly like Hunger Games with the may the odds be ever in your favor. And this is saying Divine is backing you. The universe is conspiring in your favor. And it's because there is this co-creation present. Whether you're consciously aware or not from your dreams, there is healing and balancing coming about. And it's because you found balance within yourself. There was something you were struggling with internally, within you, with how you relate to you, be it relating to the assertive energies within yourself or the receptive energies. There was a dynamic that you just did not want to deal with anymore, and finally you put your foot down with it and you said no, and that allowed it to change its form and become what you wanted it to be, what you need it to be, which is more than likely your ally. Let's see what the receptive energies are here that Divine is wanting to communicate. So it's very clear that you are protected in this situation. All these energies, they could be trying to affect their will, force it upon you, manifest it to affect you, but you literally levitated above it, and you're strong in your power. You know that your will is correct, is connected. I'm going to say correctly. See how that might play in. It's connected to a co-creation with the divine. You're not giving the attention to this negativity. You're literally seeing the world from a higher perspective. You're observing the play before you, and you already have figured out what is malicious, what is deceptive, what it doesn't even get to you. You've already, your energy, your higher self, your soul, the divine, however you want to relate to this energy, this concept, it's not even able to get to you because you have learned that lesson. So you're doing it unconsciously now. You have tamed your unconscious, if you will. You've healed it, you've transformed it. It is now your armor in a way. That's beautiful. Beautiful. You're connected. You're tapped in. That's for sure. That offer is in the same placement here with this card. It's definitely the awareness that you have that lifeline, that you don't need to fear anything. The divine's got you. They can set a trap all they want. You called for justice, and justice has come in, and yet again it's being reiterated that things may not be as they seem, and you can know that. And you can know where, and you can know why, and you can know who, and you can know what, and maybe you don't have the whole picture. Maybe it's a good idea to not have you have the whole picture. But the other parts of the situation, the soul tribe, the other energy that you're co-creating with, or energies, they have other pieces to it. Trust that. Trust the divine present within both of you in that co-creation. Even if you don't know this person, you are positively impacting one another's lives. This is very much like, if you have a trust issue with this concept, it's an invitation to take that leap of faith in divine's present, if you can, presence within it. To give this other energy you're co-creating with the benefit of the doubt. Let them prove themselves. If you know them and you can observe the cause and effect of what's happening to you in their own life, let them prove themselves. And nobody expects perfection. How else could you learn if you didn't sometimes learn through trial and error? To not necessarily be really harsh with that energy, but to give them that benefit of the doubt until they don't even open the door to that, until they give you a reason. There's no, don't even open the door to that. Thus, the things are not necessarily as they seem. Trust the divine for having led you to this point, and that there is light within you, and darkness always recedes from light. Trust that. If you can trust nothing else, trust that. So they can set a trap, but good luck, they're coming against divine. It's not really you. They're coming against divine. And good luck winning on that, because these energies are not stronger than the divine. They're part of this whole situation. Divine is aware of the imbalance. All right. Let's move into the element of water. What is being intuitively brought to the surface? What are your feelings, your emotions? How are they playing a role? How is your intuition going to play a role in this? What needs to be highlighted? I mean, I've already mentioned consistently through this that there is a balancing, that your intuition will become kind of like a radar. And most of it will be unconscious. You won't necessarily be aware of a lot of the energy. You may not know why you know things you know, but you know them. And when you tap into that emotion, you will begin to be able to create change in the chaos around you to bring about more balance, more light. And to have that benefit of the doubt, to understand what's manipulative and affecting or coming at you versus what's actually the divine guidance. Okay, so at first blush, what really comes through is there's some people in the collective right now that are feeling a sense of disorientation, a bit of fear, possibly, because this is presence within both your conscious self and your higher self. Being able to own both perspectives throughout your experience as your own is creating some it's uncomfortable. And when you have trust issues with anything like this, especially, you know, when others may judge you if you happen to share this, know that you're not alone. There are a lot of other people of your soul tribe going through this too, going through this very same thing. You are not alone. This is not something that you need to fear. It is the light amongst the storm. You are the light. You're aware. You're aware of this. Many are unconsciously living this way and thus aren't able to fully intentionally channel light for the divine. You are moving into that. It is something that you're aware of because you're trusted with it, because you've proven yourself to be capable of being responsible with that, which comes down to being humble and knowing it's not you. You're the channel. If you label it as you, then you haven't learned the lesson, and you'll go back through again and again and again until you do, whether it be something you master in this life or another. 5 may be something of great significance to you. Whoever needed to hear that. The number 5. All right. What are the assertive energies that the divine really wants to highlight for us at this time in the collective? So you have a very balanced assertive energy present here, and they're pulling on specific aspects of themselves. They're having them highlighted as well. Divine is leading this need to focus here within yourself so that it can also be highlighted or focused on within this energy that is co-creating with you in your dream space. If it's manifesting this way in your conscious experience, it's because you're kind of set in your ways in some aspect. You have things that bring you comfort. We all do. We are humans. We do better with routine. We really do. So some part of you is kind of clinging to something familiar, and that's completely understandable. And assertively, though, in spite of this, like, you're aware of it. You're aware, and you're seeking to change that. You're seeking to sort what about your daily life, what about your spiritual practice, what about your way of interacting with energy and people around you do you want to change? You know the change needs to happen. Change is constant. It's part of life. Nothing ever is still in the universe. It's always moving. It's always changing, vibrating. So what do you consciously want, need, desire to no longer have or be a part of your emotional experience as you've gained this awareness of being present within the 3D consciousness and the 5D, the higher self, the observer of the play. Excuse me, it's falling asleep on me. You should probably change that. You're becoming aware of how some of these routines, these things that you cling to, can be in the way of what you desire, and they're things that you can change because they're your own choices of your routines, of how you choose to view things, how your knee-jerk reaction to respond to things is. You're also possibly growing into your abilities to a greater extent because you have this new awareness. So it's allowing you to know, not just in yourself, but in those around you, what the poison in their life is. And as you go through this and you become comfortable and you're no longer so fearful of it because it's so new and it's so different and you're not sure where you are within it, as you become more comfortable with this, you'll also begin to know what they need as the medicine. As you become harmonious within self, within your receptive and assertive energy, you may become more consciously aware of the interaction with the higher self of this other energy you're working with. You may become more aware of that. You may become aware, even in the conscious level. They may become aware. As this awareness becomes more conscious, you're able to create more change, to understand more, because you're creating more balance between you and this energy that you have the soul contract with. The past life, soulmate, however you label the relationship, whether you know them in real life or consciously or not. As you move through this healing process and you create more balance, your ability to know what the antidote is to their poison and allow the divine to really affect that change, to deliver that. And I say that because not always do people respond well to receiving an antidote. Sometimes they don't want to hear it, but they can't unhear it, they can't unknow it, and it's really important that you be that channel, because it's actually the divine that is the antidote. So how the divine seeks to help them, seeks to show them something, seeks for them to know that they are connected, that is the antidote. It's not you that does it. You're able to channel that level of healing as you come more and more into harmony. You're able to help the people around you more. Sometimes they'll be very receptive to it. They may have been asking for it on a soul level, a higher self level, for a long time. But you weren't in harmony yet, so you couldn't give it to them. This is something that's being co-created at this point between you and this other energy and the divine present within both of you. And it could be a group, it could be more than just one person or more than one individual or energy. What is the receptive energy present within this element of water that the divine would like to highlight for the collective? In the receptive energy, there is an acceptance, an ownership, an awareness that when they say the wheel has turned, what I'm actually hearing is the tables have turned. So in a play, a drama, say the first act, you get to know the injustice present within the characters and the dynamics, and you get to know what conflict is present that needs to be overcome. This is an acceptance that the tables have turned. That oppression, that darkness, that injustice, the suffering is losing its momentum because the tables have turned. So the light, the side of the divine seeking balance to bring about more happiness, fun, light energy, joy, excitement, a higher amount of presence of peace and love, compassion, empathy, is being grounded into our reality right now. You're aware of this. You can see it happening around you. Little shifts and things like neighbors, coworkers, things that you could just look at and see and know that something was not right there. They were not happy, they were toxic, or they were lost, or you could just see it and know it. Those things have changed now. So you're already seeing the effect and knowing that it's being co-created, not just by you and this other energy, but by everyone the divine is working through right now. You're not alone. There's a lot of people in this wave. And it's a juggernaut. Its momentum is not stoppable at this point, and it has been manifested. Your awareness of this, your place in it, your part in it, your contribution to the momentum of this wave is co-created. The universe, the divine, is aware that not only that you wanted to be a part of this, that it was part of your soul mission, your soul contracts, but you passed the gatekeeper in a sense that you proved that you were ready. You proved that you were capable. You proved that you passed the tests. You passed the tests that were set for you by you, to know that you were ready. You were capable of sharing the light that was needed to be shared, that only the divine can share through you. Each and every one of us is unique. Each and every one of us. And every note that is added to that symphony, every instrument, creates more harmony and more harmony and more harmony. To use music as the metaphor, what would a high school band sound like without a drummer? Right? Right? We need the drummer. Well, what about the clarinets? What about the flutes? Oh, what are we going to do if we don't have those? Or what if we need like so many of them, and some of them play a certain amount of this part, and some of them play like a different, like lower octave or vibration, and then you'd have singers as well, soprano, alto, vibrato, baritone. Oh, why did I say vibrato? Oh, that's a good resonance within the voice. It's a very even wobble, if you will. We're all needed, and you have added. You have gained admittance to that band. Your note is added. So congratulations. Now we can look back and go, okay, we need to fill out this band some more. And there's people down there that are still in this storm, and we can help them. So let's do it. Let's do it. If I were to summarize this, give any kind of an overview. Let's see here. The divine is calling me to use this deck. Okay, all right, we're going to use this deck. This is a angel healing deck. All right, so I'll get 3 cards and a crossing card, please. Okay, we're starting with trusting yourself and the divine. At the top, and nurturing your body, taking care of your physical vessel. So at this time, taking care of your physical body will allow you to raise that energy level and intuition level of vibration that you can hold. The more balance you bring physically into your form, the more balance of energy that you could bring from the higher dimensions through your physical form to affect others' physical forms in a positive way, as well as communicate with their higher forms. So allows your higher self to communicate more clearly with other people's higher selves. It's beautiful. So nurture yourself, pamper yourself, take a spa day, like give yourself a pedicure, or whatever it is you do. All right, so that's what they wanted to start with. Nurture your physical form, heal it, balance it, exercise, all of that. All right, so 4 cards in a crossing card, or 3 cards in a crossing card. So at the top now we have surrender and release, and at the bottom we have healing. When you relate that to the physical form and needing to take care of the body, listen to what it tells you it needs. If you're really tired and you're going to go to bed anyway in 3 hours, staying up that 3 hours to set the circadian rhythm might be worth it. But if you're not going to bed for like 8, 9, 10, taking a 40-minute nap will allow you to feel refreshed and not impact negatively your ability to sleep that night, which will only allow you to be more aware of your dream state the more that circadian rhythm is set. It's very important, I guess, for that to be shared. So what I have here is the amount of love and light that you're capable of channeling and aware of, and is being mirrored into your physical reality through manifestations. It's part of your spiritual growth, because at this point, what you're going to be doing is, this love is not just for you. This love that's calling into your life is not just, like you asked for a gift on, the night before Christmas and you got that gift the next day and you get to go play with that gift and nobody else gets to share in it. This is the kind of gift that comes from the divine. So the more love that's present in your life is because you're capable now of not just having that love and enjoying that love and not sharing it. You're capable now of planting seeds, if you will, leaving little angel feathers behind you wherever you go. The divine is able to interact with these people, these individuals, whether you directly interact with them or not. The divine is able to interact more with them because you had a smile on your face as you walked down the street, or you said something very nice and possibly even just, regular conversation. But because you were genuine, you made that person feel genuinely acknowledged and could have radically changed their day because you were just being yourself. And the divine used that opportunity to positively affect change. And then they're going to go and positively affect others because they're more connected to love and light, to the divine. It's also something that at some point you possibly could have felt pretty not so comfortable with. It is definitely being driven home that you have an abundance of support, of divine support around you, aiding you. It's not just about you, it's about every feather that you leave behind you, of every seed of light you leave behind you. They are all being nurtured. This is like go time in a way. And you just get to be you. You get to just move through everything and be kind and caring, and sometimes they may need a little more blunt of an answer to help them fully understand and see. But all of it, you're being supported through it. And everyone that picks up one of those feathers is gaining support from divine, separate from your personal energy. It's all divine. None of it is your personal energy. You're just the vehicle in a way. The best way to put this is, if you think of all the people on our planet, and all the souls and all the people that are upset or suffering or angry or feel trapped, all of this negative stuff, right? Individuals incarnate like us because we're almost like the autoimmune system. We're like the immune system for the planet, really, in a way. For like the collective consciousness, we're the immune system. We've been brought in here to affect change within the other cells, within the other individuals, to take cells that could become malignant or already are and transform them, or assist the divine in delivering the necessary medicine to bring that balance. Now, I don't know where I heard this, so please do not try to quote me on it. It was something that I think I heard it years ago. And statistics and sayings like this, they change as we grow and we have more science available to us. But I do recall this statement, and it's a pretty radical statement. That's kind of why it stood out for me, which is that our immune system naturally takes care of cancerous cells, and we're not even necessarily aware of it. So at different times in our life, we could have the possibility of cancer becoming something that affects our lives, but our immune system naturally takes care of it. We don't even know. So in this situation, that would apply to, we're coming in and we could be turning that tide. We could make it so that our planet is balanced, is healed, and it doesn't have to deal with malignancy, if you will. And this is all within the energies and within empowering people through knowledge, planting those seeds of light, leaving those little feathers behind you wherever you go. Just be in yourself. Let the divine work through you. And it's amazing because you're actually beginning to see the change around you. Let that be your affirmation. When you see other people balancing their lives around you, change is happening. Change is happening. It's the tables have turned. You are not alone. You are supported, and you're capable of doing this because you've proven that you're capable of doing this, and the divine has gifted that to you, has trusted you with that, because you're worthy of that. So don't doubt it. You are worthy of that, and you're never alone. You're never alone. That is today's reading. I hope that you guys found some peace from this reading, some guidance, some affirmations, some awareness that you're not alone. The divine within me honors the divine within you. The spark, the light within me, as well as, my love of that shadow side of myself that I've made my friend, my ally. The divine within me honors the divine within you. Namaste.